everybody out there. This is Melissa from S.P.I.R.I.T, and we are in Sacramento today to help just a very wonderful and sweet couple get a little bit of validation, a little bit of answers, maybe figure out some of the things they're seeing, feeling, sensing. Not necessarily anything negative going on per se. I haven't really walked the space and felt all the areas, so I'm trying to feel the layers of the energy. I haven't fully opened. Before we got here, I did sense 3 different distinct spirits. So I would like to explore them more and figure out where they fall into line. I so far have felt 2 males and a female. I'd like to sort of get a bead on who they are and maybe if they're related, if they have a purpose here, if they're just hanging out, maybe they enjoy, you know, this couple a lot, you know, they want to be part of the family, or maybe they are part of the family. I really feel a good energy in the space and a lot of love and like brightness and vivaciousness, but I also feel somebody with an underlying insecurity that leaks out occasionally, and they stuff it back in, and then it leaks out and they stuff it back in. So there's this kind of rotating energy in one of the souls that frequents the space, either I think it's one of the living people possibly, okay. That's experiencing kind of a back and forth with their feelings and the emotional balance. So, and there also appears, I know they have living animals, but I think there's something that's running around here that's not, because I know the living cat is here and the dogs are at the sitter, but there's another animal here that keeps like knocking into me, like bonking into me, and I'm like, and I almost feel like I'm being pushed over by something. So I'm just trying to determine what in the hell's going on in this place. But it's really, it's all good energy so far that I felt.
Can or feline, or can you tell?
I can't tell. It's like bowling into me.
Sure.
So I can't tell what it is yet. Yeah. But then again, you know, that's the thing that folks, I want them to understand out there is with my gift. I don't control it. I don't have any say in it. I am the conduit. So whatever they show me, even if it's a glimmer of information and that's all they're going to give me, I cannot force the other side to give me more. I simply have to accept the divine blessing of whatever information comes forth. So that's what I want to deliver to our clients tonight, is whatever belongs to them, whatever will help them get the validation and continue moving them forward on their journey. I think there almost feels like there's something that does need to be lifted energetically off of them as far as like a blockage, that maybe they just need that little kick to keep moving forward comfortably and happy with life, like knowing that they're doing okay. And the particular male spirit, he is very distinct with feeling that like he's cheering them on, like, you damn right you're doing good. Like, why are you questioning things? And I am being touched again, but that's a real cat this time, so that's good. So we'll just explore the space, see what's going on. Well, this is sort of one of those hybridized kind of mini readings / a little bit of validation equipment type of cases. So we're just going to explore.
Okay.
So we just filmed the intro, and we actually picked up what I felt like something large brushing against my legs and kind of bowling into me.
During the intro, yeah.
Yeah, during the intro, and this has already been validated by our clients. So you were saying, there's our wonderful clients there, and you were saying that that made sense to you for a dog that you had.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Cody.
Nice.
Well, it's always nice when we realize that death is not the end.
It isn't.
And spirit animals are a thing too. They have souls. They were created. They're beautiful, divine creations, and it's nice when they can come back and say hello, just the same way a loved one would. And as far as just my very general initial impressions, you don't have to give too much away, but did any of what I felt resonate to you guys?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, totally.
Good.
As soon as you said that, and we didn't know you were going to say that until.
Well, I don't ever know what's going to come out of my mouth either. To be perfectly honest,
right.
I just start feeling things and just
You know what was weird is like right at the end too, right at the end of the intro, right when it was right when you walked off, something was the facial recognition was locking to your right, just below you at about this height. I don't know what that was, but
Random stuff wandering around.
yeah.
It's dusty, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I'm just feeling all the energy over here.
Some beautiful pieces there.
I'll get to you in a minute. He's fun. Get to me now. It's my flag. Hold on. You hold. That boat is interesting. It all kind of hums. This whole thing hums. But not in a bad way. It's
No,
like,
it's just got a lot of it's real positive energy. In fact,
this is weird. That's got a weird
that drew my attention too. Yeah,
Yeah, that's got a weird vibe.
it's nice.
Certain things are just really piquing my interest, but the boat keeps talking to me.
Well, we both are very connected to the Native American culture too.
Yeah.
I grew up about 30 miles from one of the largest Arapaho reservations in the United States. So there was no way to, the cultures were just absolutely integrated.
I don't
Had to be in northern Wyoming.
Ooh. I hate it when they show me the pain.
I went to school with the Karuks.
Okay.
Happy Camp,
Okay.
California.
God, it's mad pain. Massive sharp pain in my back.
Yeah.
Yeah, right and all the way down the leg. It's almost like a straight down the back and the leg pain. It's like a clenching of something in the back. The back does
Okay.
not feel comfortable.
Okay.
It feels tight. Yeah. I don't know which area is giving me the pain, but it's so tight through this whole space. Obviously, this flag is extremely significant. This really seems to have a lot of energy to it, like a massive amount of energy attached to it. There's a gentleman that keeps talking about it to me. I would say kind of the wisdom that comes out of this soul, very wise soul. A little bit, you would think that he would always think inside the box, but he actually had a lot of like really creative ideas that were very expansive ideas, like a brain that would really just like tendril into all kinds of things, and really like a true thinker, a very bright mind. It seems like a really bright individual, and wanting to impart things. And sometimes it's like, just take my advice. I know what I'm talking about. It's this like, why are you not listening to me? I know what I'm saying. But there's still a lot of love behind it. It's a little stubborn and pushy, but it's a lot of love and the push, But he says that means something to him. So he's saying, that this is important to me, and they're important to me. They're very meaningful to me. There's a forceful energy though, just a little bit of a undercurrent of like, he could kind of cut you down just a little bit too sometimes with certain people, certain energy was like a little bit of a silver tongue sometimes to some people. But most of the time, just bring me wisdom, is what I felt. So does that make any sense to you guys?
That energy you're feeling, does that mean that flag belongs to that? It was his, or just an energy that's proud of that flag?
He seems to be drawing me to it.
Okay.
So I don't know if it was his, but he's pointing it out to me as significant. So he's telling me, look at the flag. So that, I'm not sure what that means or how that looks. It's just, he's like, look at the flag. Acknowledge it. So, like, it's like an acknowledgement, like a respect.
I wonder if it has 48 stars on it. I'd have to take it out and look at it.
Okay. Huh. And maybe it's just that general patriotic respect.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that could just be the thing, like, please have some respect for this. And so that could be what he's just trying to tell me, is that patriotism. Whether it belonged to him or not, that makes sense. that
Yeah.
energy is important to him, is to respect others, respect your country, honor things. Like,
Yeah.
he's very much about honor and like respect.
That would make sense. And some of the characteristics you just
So
explained.
so it sounds like somebody you know then.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
Definitely.
All right, perfect. I will carry him along with me, and maybe he'll tell me more. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they just walk off and like, leave me hanging in the bag. You know, I'm like, thanks. Thanks, dead people. It says go back over here.
Yeah.
Why? Why?
What are we looking at now? A lot of family photos and stuff over there.
Is that one?
Oh, there's another flag. Yeah. I honestly didn't even see that. Is that what he's looking at? Or is it something else?
He's just so big in this stuff. Like, he's drawing me to
Yeah.
these objects, and like
That's a really nice
making
display
me,
too.
making me hyper focused on this stuff.
Well, he's just obviously very patriotic.
He seems to really like that.
Yeah.
He seems to really like it. Well, I like it if I don't take a picture of it. Let me.
Yeah, the same corner. I'm having trouble with the facial recognition again. I'm having to manually move it
Really?
to recenter it. Yeah, it should lock on you once you turn around, but
Just want to see if I catch like an orb by it, because he seems to like it quite a bit.
turn around for a second so I can relock on you there. Thank you.
Might as well wander this way.
Oh, okay.
Wander in the kitchen. Why
I want to
not?
see if it does that again.
Oh, I like the cow.
No, it's
If
fine.
he likes it, it's probably worth something.
What are we feeling in here?
I actually feel a strange energy this direction.
Outside?
Yeah, it feels like a little weird wave.
Do you want to walk out there?
No.
No?
I'd like to leave that energy out there, whatever that is.
All
I'll
right.
leave it out there because it doesn't come in here, and I want to leave it out there.
All right. Well, we'll.
Me too.
I don't know. Weird back there, like heavy, not like right in your yard, but like a little bit past. It just feels like viscous.
Right. Well, you have a yard, and then you kind of have like a parking lot right across on the yard.
It's
What is
wind,
it?
yeah, it's Winco now.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there. Oh, yeah. No wonder there's a crappy energy out there.
Yeah, it may not be the yard
Wind code.
as much as. Yeah.
Strange people. Let's keep their energy out. I get a lot of throat discomfort with one of these souls in this house too.
Okay.
A lot of throat restriction, and almost like ear, like drainage, a lot of drainage, and a lot of like it's all restricted in through here. It's like tight, it's like locked down in the throat. Very, very uncomfortable pressure. And so as a sort of an empathic and physical medium, I do sometimes feel some of the stuff that they would have felt when they were alive. It doesn't necessarily mean they feel that now. Well, that's very interesting. You do have some interesting stuff in this house.
Yeah, it sure did.
Over there.
That's very unique. It has an energy too. It almost speaks. That's really kind of creepy. But not a bad thing, but it
Had some energy going on to it.
kind of talks a little bit.
Yeah.
Thank you. I keep feeling ear pain, left ear pain. Something hurts on my it's like a ache in my ear, and I don't know what that is. It's a sharp pain. Female energy seems to be more attached to you. She seems to be yours. And I don't know how far back she goes, because sometimes loved ones will even be generations back and they just follow you around. But it does feel a bit closer. She keeps showing me all these Kleenex shoved up her sweater. Like she's got like all these tissues. It's really interesting. What are you doing, lady? Yeah, she's a very fun gal. Just kind of, I don't know, she has this energy of just like, the color I see around her, she's like a bright ray of sunshine. She just beams. And I think she's a very positive protection energy around you. Like, she's very invested in just like squeezing on you and just loving on you and just protecting you. She's like embracing your energy. So I don't know if this is somebody that you would have known when you were alive, like when she was alive, or she died before you were born. I don't know. But she really seems attached to you, and like in a positive way, and very caring. She's definitely older. she's got to be at least 70 or older. Like she's in that range-ish.
No.
I'm miserable at ages, but she's an older gal, and she just wants to protect. At least that's how I'm seeing her, because like she's wearing this god-awful sweater, so I think she's older based on her attire. But sometimes when I see spirits, it's like I'm looking at them from like across the football field, and there's like a little bit of mist in like the morning, and so I have to like draw stuff out of them. I don't know if she makes sense to you at all, but you know, we can always work with her a little bit, because she seems to be very protective. And
Well, I've always felt there's something protecting me back before I even moved to Sacramento.
okay,
Back in my younger wild days.
yeah.
So, I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, she could definitely be somebody from, you know, like a great-grandparent, or somebody, you know, that just was assigned to you to keep you.
I do have a grandmother that passed.
Oh, okay.
So, she did have the throat stuff.
Oh,
Okay, so
going on. Like, at the
I'm
very end, she would make this horrible noise, like just rattle noise.
So maybe I'm
But-
blending a little bit of energies together.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
She seemed like the energy I felt seemed like a nice gal, you know.
I didn't really like.
Yeah. Well, I
I mean, I didn't get along, like.
yeah. Well,
So I
of course,
don't know.
when you were a youth, like you said, wilder, that
Yeah.
kind of stuff, I could see how that would sort of cause a rift.
Yeah.
she had your best interest at heart, and she was like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, honestly, and at this point, if it is her, all of that, whatever didn't work out back then, she really, because the energy I'm feeling now is really nice. Maybe in her living days, she was just on your ass all the time and lecturing you all the time and giving you a lot of hell, you know, and you guys were always bickering about things and your choices and why are you doing this, why are you doing that.
Yeah.
But now she just wants to, this woman, if that's her, because I do feel the throat and the chest, she just wants to protect and love now. Like, it's all about love.
Kids need to be given hell, right?
I didn't remember it like too much. She was, they're just old school.
Yeah.
Different
Just a
times.
different-
Absolutely.
Different values. She saw life. Well, in an older generation, they went through obviously things we've never even been through.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
sometimes they have that real jaded, cold kind of feeling because they went through. Hi, meow meow. They went through some really hellish experiences and, you know, war times and not a lot of money or resources, and so they come off like a lot of people didn't like my great grandmother. Like, they thought she was a piece of work.
Yeah.
But I always remembered her putting out, you know, the cheese and the crackers and the things I liked. Other members of the family were like, oh God, she was always, you know.
Yeah.
So I guess it's perspective and experience.
Yep.
Her energy reminds me of my great grandmother, which is maybe why I'm relating that energy of, I think she's nice.
Yeah.
It just, I don't know, it's like this weird, like almost knit looking sweater. And it's just not really all that attractive. But
Yeah. That makes sense. She didn't have attractive clothes.
no, it wasn't all that attractive. But she thinks it's all right, so I'll just, you know, hey.
Let her alone.
Yeah, let her be. It's her deal. My guess is that it probably is her, just based on some of the generalities. Again, I think she's nice just because she's being nice to me. Because she's already gone through the transition,
Yeah.
so all that stuffiness is kind of shed away.
Nice.
None of that exists in her anymore. So she could be a good guardian at this point.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
She's not going to lecture you anymore. Except for the fact that she really does want you to believe in yourself. You know, because you talk down to yourself a little bit. And you sort of break yourself down and you say some mean things to yourself. And
Yeah.
and she's just like, honey, no. Like, don't talk to yourself that way. You're making progress. You're gaining ground. You're making the changes. Be patient with yourself. Dedicate to your growth. You're gonna be fine. You just got to trust the process, trust yourself, and sort of just take it one day at a time. Is what she keeps saying to me.
Yep, that makes really sense.
Okay. It's, yeah. Sometimes I just have to deliver what I hear, and I know sometimes it can be kind of intense emotionally, but, you know, I appreciate you being willing to receive the information.
Absolutely.
Because I know it's probably not what you expected.
I kind of did.
No, okay, well,
Yeah.
yeah, no, I like to help people, and sometimes our loved ones come forward just in that little, like they'll give me a little glimmer about themselves and not a lot of detail of themselves, because all they want to do is tell you what you need to hear about you. Like they want to make sure you're okay.
Get the message across.
Yeah, that's all they care about. They're not going to give you this whole diatribe about, well, I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And remember when Uncle Johnny did this and oh my God, and they don't give you all that all the time. Sometimes they're just like, honey, come on, I'm here. You got support, you got love. All these angels are around you. Let's do this together. So you've got some divine support.
Awesome.
Cool.
Yeah. And obviously some feline support.
He's,
my boy.
He's a friendly boy.
That I'm trying to so desperately to get a perfect picture of. Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you. Oh yeah, that's a money shot. You're so pretty.
He's handsome.
A handsome
Oh,
boy.
Boy, he's handsome.
Well, I think you're just gorgeous.
I always tell my animals that.
Honestly, like an orange cat, I'm like Amy Allen from the Dead Files. I get derailed
Yeah.
when a cat.
Easily.
She's pretty mindful. She doesn't
Okay,
have a
good.
lot of stuff that's identifiable anywhere. We do really try to take it extremely seriously.
Yeah.
That
Absolutely.
especially when it comes to kids' spaces.
Oh yeah,
She's
absolutely.
15. Yeah, she's good kid.
So you feel her energy in the space. What do you got going on in here? I feel the energy I feel in here is actually. Oh my God! Wow, it's like a rubber ball bouncing off the walls. It's like a really exuberant energy. Where is that coming from though? It's weird because so it's your daughter, but I also feel like a young boy in here. And I don't know why. Like a soul connection to a non-living kid. It's weird. They're connected in some way. He likes to hang out with her. He's very protective, very loving. He's not a threat. He's not a dark energy at all. But he's really attached to her.
Same age?
I feel like he might be a little, he looks a little, like, older, a little taller, but I can't quite tell.
Okay.
But, like, he's showing me through the years, like, he's showing me this whole thing, but, like, I don't think that he actually made it to those ages. He's just, like, showing me progression. So I don't know where she picked this kid up at, but it seems to be some sort of soul connection. Maybe it's just a soul from the other side that just, they had a soul web connection somewhere, but they're connected.
I don't know, I really can't pinpoint that, but we've always sensed that about her, like her connection with God. At a very young age, the way she prays, they'll pray in the morning before going to school, and
Awesome.
the prayers, he tells me what the prayers she comes up with, and it's like, she's young. So
she might have like a little angel or guide that's kind of like, sort of a guardian.
Yeah.
Helping her and protecting her.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a really interesting energy, but she seems like a very dynamic, creative soul. Real unique young lady. Although I get the sense that you push each other a little bit hard sometimes, like you push each other's boundaries a little bit, and sometimes you get to this point where one of you like just literally storms out of the space. Like you just can't, you just can't communicate to each other, and like you try. I think that will correct in time. I think that will correct over. But
Mothers and daughters.
This is pretty volatile. This is a little bit volatile. This
Yeah,
is
a little bit on the norm.
This is a little bit intense sometimes, but maybe it's just because you're all a little bit sensitive to energy, so maybe you kind of
It's
feel.
No, you're 100% right.
Okay. Well, it'll balance out.
It's a constant having to rethink like how you can do something better or say something better on both sides.
Yeah. Well, you're learning.
I just texted him today going, I don't know what to do with I don't know what to do anymore. Just because she goes through these attitude things, but then again, she's me. So
yeah, that's what people get congratulated with. Oh, you get to have kids. Look, you're going to get a mini you that's 10 times more fun.
Absolutely. Yeah. You just hit the nail on the head with that.
That's my job, picking up weird crap. but she seems like a real good kid, you know.
Yeah.
Deep down, you know, she can really push your buttons, but
She only does it here, like,
yeah.
and it's only at times, but.
And she might be, if she's a little bit latent empathic, she might be picking up a lot of like the stuff coming from over there in the parking
Yeah.
lot, that people's toxicity. And if she's a little bit spiritually blessed and gifted, kind of like I am, in any way, shape, or form, she might be.
She's a loner too, like because of the drama, because of negative attitudes at school. Like she just started.
She
at
can't.
homeschool.
She can't handle the energy of people.
She does not like confrontation. We just went through it, you know. So she would rather, she would rather just stay by herself than
Yeah.
be in a group of girls with negativity.
A little extra prayer and maybe practicing sort of a grounding technique, and I can email you it's just a visualization technique. It's just picturing the divine light coming through you and and everything washing out into the earth, and it's sort of like just an emotional cleansing. And then you jump into a disco ball. You imagine the disco ball around you and the mirror. All of the mirrors just reflecting all the negativity off of you. It's sort of like putting on a little bit of an armor to keep energy away from you. Because all we are inside these meat suits is energy.
Mm-hmm.
So other people's energy can impact the environment and you and how you feel and how you interact with others. So, you know, it would be good for her to just learn some good protective measures. Because if she does have a little bit of a divine gift, those don't usually go away. So it's more about management and just staying bubbled and in the light and protected and not being bogged down by energy. Because, you know, she's young. She doesn't need to be overwhelmed by things. Oh, let's wander some more. He just, like, he's so opinionated. I don't know why he's showing me coupons. That's weird. I don't know what that means. You're going to have to show me a better symbol than that. So when I receive information, they'll show me things that are like flashcards, and I'll just like get little images, and I'm like, okay, now I have to connect the dots. What the hell does all this mean? So other mediums read different ways, and how they pick up information. Mine is just a nice soup. So this individual, he. I would put him close to 70, but again, ages are so hard for me. I would say that he's got to be close to 70, in that ballpark. But he's trying to show me his favorite time, and he was about 45 or 50 years old, like that he really felt like this dialed in, like it was a good time for this particular male energy, like he really felt. That's what he wants to show me and represent to me. But he obviously, I'm seeing him older, but he's trying to like no, like look, I look sharp, like, you know, he's trying to like kind of be sort of snazzy. Like down, like the shoes, like something with the shoes and being shined, like his shoes. He was showing me like these shiny shoes, and I'm like, I don't know why he would even show me that. But it's like this, it's sort of a detail-oriented, something with detail-orientedness. It's like a perfectionism thing. And I don't know if it's his, or if he's showing how his father acted towards him and forced upon him to do things in a very meticulous way. It's sort of a methodical energy, very methodical energy. Yeah, just all this stuff that I keep like having this randomness. It says, are you still upset with him? Like, there's something like, maybe there was something that wasn't said, or something that or something like you never saw eye to eye about. There was something that you weren't seeing eye to eye on something, but he won't admit to me what it is. So, but he's very comfortable in your space. He feels like he belongs with you, and that he needs to be with you. I want him to show me just a little bit, like, I'm trying to pull more out of him, but he's just kind of like, isn't it enough that I'm here? And I'm like, well, yeah, it is, like, that's great, that's wonderful, like, they're happy that you're here, but would you give me more? It looks something kind of like one of those little polos with like the little, like a golf, like that little alligator. It's showing me like a little alligator, and I don't understand why he's showing me like a polo shirt and khakis. It's very bizarre imagery. He keeps taking me through all these phases of his life and all these little parts of his life, and maybe just to kind of give me an overall image of like his experience. I really believe he's related to you. I really believe this soul belongs with you and to you. Like this male energy, it has to be yours. Because he's too comfortable here not to be related. This is a blood relative. I am positive about it. Do you feel like this energy might resonate a little bit? Some of the stuff is abstract. I'll give you that. Not all the symbols I get make sense to me because, again, they show me so rapidly. But I really feel like he's yours. So if anything resonates to you, or if you want to connect any dots, because that's where your validation comes in. I get all the hodgepodge. You people have to weave it together.
Yeah.
You people.
Yeah. Nothing's really standing out too much with my dad or grandpa. And you're explaining them both a little bit.
Okay, so maybe they're leaking together and blending together a little bit.
Maybe, I don't know.
That does happen with me. The souls will kind of stack, and I'll like get little glimmers from each of them. So, and I felt two males.
Okay. Yeah.
You did when you first came. You said that when you first.
And
came
I keep trying to split them apart, but they keep telling me different information, and like
Talking at the same time.
yeah, it's like rapid fire with these two, and I just kind of unload it all on you. So in a way, I deliver the information, but it's kind of for you guys to sort of sort out, like, well, does this belong to grandpa or does this belong to dad? Does this make sense for which soul? Because right now they're just both giving me everything. So splitting it apart for me, that's going to be pretty hard.
It's kind of crazy you just said grandpa and dad, though. We didn't say grandpa and dad. They're just, because especially with your father, he's talking about how his dad treated him, and sort of like the little bit harder on him, and like the expecting a lot, like really high expectation sort of energy. And so they're coming in together. Whatever things they had, that's all cleared and healed and happy and good, because they had a lot of good times too. They're showing me some positive energy as well. But he just says, yeah, my dad was kind of rough on me. Sometimes, he really lectured me about some things, but it actually made him a stronger, better person. Like it made him a better man.
Yeah.
So, and it's something that he, tried to impart. And I don't know if some of the insecurities also coming maybe out of you too, that are you living up to what you thought they were trying to instill, like that generational energy, are you living up to it? They're trying to say that, you're building your own path and you're doing fine. Keep building your path. You are building something special. But you guys are still in a very building phase, a very trend, like you've come a long way, but there's still a lot of vulnerability, an immense amount of vulnerability.
Yeah.
And that fear of, what if, there's a what if, like what if I can't, what if I make a mistake, what if I go backwards and just throw it all away, is what they kind of keep telling me. But they're saying, look, you're smart, you're gonna be fine. You're going to do this. So, like, you don't need to beat yourself up if you have a not so great day.
Yeah. Wow.
So, does that make sense to you?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know it can be a lot, and it can be kind of hard to.
Yeah, they're both Marines. So is my other. So two grandfathers that are passed away, and dad that's passed away. All three Marines.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of Marines.
So yeah. So yeah, I can see the strictness or the being tough on them. Yeah.
That explains the flags.
Well, yeah, I guess that would. Yeah.
Well, none of the flags belong to anybody
Nah.
in my family, but,
Gotcha.
but loved them.
But yeah, they were drawing
it
me
was
to
like,
them.
like
you know,
don't forget, yeah,
They're
kind
like,
of
respect it. They just kept telling me to respect it.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, I will, of course, absolutely. We both come from military families, so we understand.
Yeah.
And that would explain why she kept being drawn to that eagle.
Yeah, what's up with the eagle?
Grandpa looked at hers.
No, my grandfather loved eagle. He gave
Oh,
me that
did he?
on the wall.
Oh,
Nice.
the painting up there.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty much. Well, I got hit that and a hat from him.
So yeah, because one of those male energies was just like, isn't that eagle great? That is the coolest thing. Like, he was just so jazzed about the damn
The
thing.
same words that he used.
Yeah, that'd be grandpa.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
He would say the coolest.
Oh. Well, yeah. It's maybe he's the louder soul than that I'm hearing more, and then they're just kind of they just keep toggling back and forth. But one of them is much louder than the other.
Maybe he was asking if he was upset with the pickles.
Yeah.
Oh no. Yeah, it's really clear that they want to be here with you guys, and they want to share love, and they want to share energy, and they want to be protective, and they want to help out. Because there's that, like we talked about, that energy of you guys, just sometimes you lose your confidence, you lose your way, you lose like that oomph, and you just wonder like, what in the heck is going on now? What are we doing?
I'm going through it real hard,
Yeah.
especially the last 2 weeks.
Okay.
Very vulnerable.
Yeah. Your energy is loud today.
Is it?
But it's not a bad thing. It works for me because I can feel it.
Yeah.
But I can also bless and anoint you guys and put a lot of extra love and good energy around you, so you can just kind of keep trucking along, keep doing this, and make some good progress. Yeah, he's funny. He's like, they need to learn to communicate.
It's so true though.
and that's Grandpa, and he's like, yeah, I sort of struggled in that realm, so now I can impart my divine wisdom on you too. And he's just thinking, he's like, you gotta listen to me now, I'm dead. The dead are fun.
They have senses of humor.
They do have senses of humor. I really appreciate their novelty, but he's like, yeah, you guys communicate with love and with meaning and for purpose and for growth. Choose your words carefully. Choose your thought processes carefully. When you interact, do it for a positive growth purpose, not for to be right or to win or to berate one another. The communication should be for something that promotes growth. So if it doesn't serve a growth purpose, choose different words.
They're talking to you. I guarantee it. She knows too.
I know she does.
You're like, God darn it, what's this medium in my house telling me every day?
But I knew this was coming. I felt it. I was
Well,
like,
yeah, you had us come in.
my anxiety though, that's led up to it, is like, oh, they're gonna see what, like, I am just all over the place. But yeah, no, you just summed us up. And like, we're so,
That's my job.
we are so that couple.
Yeah.
But there's so much like underlying like love and support and like a good foundation.
Yeah.
You're human. You can be human sometimes. It's all right. Forgive yourself for the humanity. But just practice. Practice makes perfect. So if you need to practice how you treat each other and talk to each other and the words and all that,
Words.
we're gonna turn into a whole damn rad show here if we don't have much time. Okay, focus.
On the phone spinner.
I have a question for you. I don't know
Sure.
if you have any answers for, or maybe
I
maybe they'll tell you. But my cousin told me a story once, and my dad passed away, and she said that he met the Wright brothers, and at the time of the story, I'm like, that'd make a lot of sense. He was in the aviation, so. But it turned out, and I knew it after about 3 or 4 times of hearing it, that the Wright brothers was actually a communication bridge for me and him. Because the times I hear it are just the most randomest, like on a commercial on a radio, Wright Brothers, and then I'll.
It's not something that comes up a lot either.
Yeah, like, you know, how often do you hear the word Wright Brothers, except for like when you're in that stuff? And I could just be watching TV, and the one that's puzzling me the most. I got my answers, I think, on a lot of the other Wright Brothers when he connects with me. But he had said something about, I was sitting on the edge of the table and I was just getting ready for bed. I was getting ready to turn off the TV, and the YouTube commercial said all the way down to the Wright Brothers, and I was kind of had my head clicked over here. And I knew right away he was telling me to get rid of his ashes, but I don't know where. Like, does he want to be back whole in his thing, or did he want it somewhere special? I have no idea, but I knew right away that's what he was talking about.
Wow.
And it's just a portion of his ashes that I kept to give me and my brothers each.
So why do you think he wants you to get rid of it? Because I don't think he wants to be gotten rid of.
No, that's what he was telling me, that it wasn't that I can let go of that. That's not what's keeping. That's not him.
Yeah, and it's not. He can visit you. He's right. He can visit you no matter if his ashes are here or not. But he said if you like having them here and if it brings you comfort, you can keep him. He's okay with it. He doesn't care. He did give me this vision of skydiving, and like, and spreading them out in the air, which that would be dramatic and that would be scary, and I wouldn't do that. But that I think he almost showed me that as a joke. But he was like showing me skydiving.
I wonder if it's because the big spot where I get a hit to let him go is because he loves Clear Lake, and we go dirt bike riding up there like all the time.
Okay.
And there's this one hill, Hogsback, and that's where I always seem to think about it like, I should let my dad go here. He'll love this spot. And it's this rock you can stand out, and it's a cliff. And then down below is Clear Lake, but that whole overlooks the valley that my grandparents lived in.
Big wide open space,
Yeah.
I mean, if you really were moved to do it, then that would be
absolutely.
meaningful. But he's like, this is fine if you keep a little portion of me too. That doesn't really matter. Like he said, that's the last thing that really matters.
Yeah.
He just wants you to like listen. You guys to listen to his wisdom, and so does Grandpa. They both want you to listen to their wisdom of just taking care of yourselves, being good to your soul, being good to your body, being good to your mind, and being good to each other.
Well,
They just really want you guys to exude love.
yeah, and to me, the way I would take the letting go would be that letting go emotionally. Accept his passing, accept that he's here and just watching over you. And if you haven't, that's just that's a knee-jerk reaction. I don't have anything of a gift. She's the gifted one, but just in interpreting that's what I would think he might mean is let go of that emotionally. Not if you like Melissa said, if you're moved to spread the ashes, then fine. But that could be a beautiful thing. But if you don't really want to, the letting go is just saying
It's an emotional thing.
Dad's made the transition and he's here, and that's great. And it might be an emotional letting go, because the Wright brothers is very that to me that's like a very powerful image. That was the beginning of a new era. That was one of the things that.
So it's a new era without him.
Yeah. So
here.
that's a metaphor for a new start.
Okay.
That's just my 2 cents.
2 cents.
Yeah.
And I would kind of concur, because he's not hung up on that part of it. And if it gives you that little tidbit of comfort of just having a little bit of him around, it's not going to bother him either way. He just wants you to listen to his energy, because he does try sending you signals to let you know that he's gone through the transition, he's gone through the light, he's fine. You don't have to worry about him or worry about anything that happened around his passing. Said you did everything right. Like you made good choices. You made the right choices. So I don't know if you had to deal with anything like it is, and either right before he passed or right after but he says you made all the right choices. You did good, and I'm here to take care of you. So you made good choices before, and I'm here to take care of you now. Does that kind of resonate or make sense to you?
Yeah, he didn't want the ambulance called on him. He didn't
Oh.
want to die in the hospital.
He
Yeah.
wanted to pass it home.
But we got there and
We couldn't pick him up or anything.
brought the rad brine up there for this whole turkey dinner.
Oh.
And yeah. The next, like, he literally sat in the seat. I got up and I went and told him, like, he hasn't moved. So he had to make the choice to call the ambulance on his dad, and he never got to go home.
Yeah.
Well, whether people don't like hospitals, he said he understands why you tried. He gets it. He's not mad about that. He's not upset about any of that.
Yeah.
And he's just gonna, you did right by him. You tried to take care of him. Now he's gonna take care of you, and watch after you guys. That's the choice that he's making. So he's a cool guy.
Yeah.
Cool.
He's kind of a spunky fella. He's kind of got this little spunky, cocky kind of fun, and it's great. He's a cool dude. Yeah, I'm glad that he's here, and I'm glad that he's made his transition. He's gonna take care of you guys. So that is my feeling of so far what I can pull from these wonderful souls, and I think maybe poking around a little bit with some meters, maybe getting some validation
Absolutely.
from them with some meters.
Absolutely.
And then if you guys decide you want to try Spirit Box or anything else, you can. If you don't actually want to go to that level, because it is breaching a spiritual connection, it's much more than what I just did here.
Yeah.
It can be intense, or it can be nothing can happen.
Yeah, sometimes they don't say anything at all, but
Right.
still opening energy to the other side. And as you know, I do take that seriously. I do respect that. I put up protocols, boundaries, prayer to open, prayer to close. But some people are not comfortable engaging that, especially people of faith and with spirituality. They're like, thank you, but no thank you, that's not my thing.
Yeah.
And like with Dawn, and I'm okay with that either way, but if you want to give it a whirl, I'm also open to that. And either way, I do want to do a little bit of a light blessing in the space regardless, just to refresh the energy and to remove some of the heaviness that you guys have been feeling upon you.